government branch. But yes, sir. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. I'm trying to get my stuff together.
I know. External.
Yeah, external. You know, there's no.
Praise the Lord.
You must get come up here after that. It's hot up in there, boo. Yeah, I'm cold a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to get myself together so I can look kind of nice.
Take it down.
Yeah, you know, gotta look nice. Make sure everything in the right place. Just like telling you, make sure everything in the right place. You know,
Praise the Lord.
having always risen in prayer. In the traditions of my forefathers, I continue by praising Allah, the great God of the universe. That God is called that rootless root from which all things have arose. I extend honor to his holy, his illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, on January 8, 1886, in the state of North Carolina. I extend honor to the prophet's forerunner, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Godfrey, who said, you mighty race, and accomplish what you will. What a man has done, a man can do. I like to extend honor to our first Supreme Grand Chief. It's very important. A lot of people forget this man. But the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali appointed him the first Supreme Grand Chief of the Mormon Science Temple of America, Brother Edward Mealy. I extend honor to, as the Assistant Grand Chief said, all of those leaders that followed him, that were truly trying to fulfill the works and carry out the works of our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I extend honor to our present-day leader, Brother D. Bellier, who is our Supreme Grand Chief, because I was always taught it would be crazy for me to be following an individual under the authority of the individual and did not acknowledge that individual who he is. So he is our Supreme Grand Chief, and I acknowledge the work that he has done, and are trying to do. Islam. I extend honor to my assistant, Brother J. Barnes Bay, who is the Assistant Grand Governor of Maryland, Chief Divine Minister. I extend honor to our Assistant Grand Chief, Brother G. Turner Hill, also Divine Minister. To our Chairman, Sheikh D. Eddington Hill, Divine Minister. To our Treasurer, Sheikh A. McCullough Bay. To our Secretary, who is absent tonight, and I understand the sisters are somewhat in pain. Sheikh M. Brown Bay. I extend honor to Major, it's important, I hear this here, Major K. Cunningham Hill. He is the commander of the AERG unit here. Now, that's our elite Royal Guard unit. It's important that we understand that. It's elite. It ain't just a regular guard. It's elite guard. It has to be like that because we call to do a certain type of mission. You know, years ago, a brother used to talk about the Mufti, you know, and he described this Mufti. He said he was standing on a hot tin roof in 110-degree weather. See, sun beaming on his head, flying might crawl across his face, he ain't gonna move. See, and that's when we think about this elite guard. This elite guard here can withstand a lot. So I give honor to the Major. You know, he gonna make sure we're safe in here. I extend honor to our members. See, before you can be a major, you know, grand chief, chairman, anything else, you got to be a member. And not only be a member, you got to be a faithful member. See, then you can grab one of these titles and do some work. You know. So I extend honor there. I like to begin like everyone else, according to custom. Now, tradition. Read the page, we declare my intention. So it may be understood that if I get up here and get the flapping, don't contribute that to Allah, for Allah is perfect. Don't attribute that to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because he is a thought of that perfect God manifested in flesh. You know, so don't do that. So you got to quote that to me. Anything that I say here that ain't right, attribute it to me, because I'm trying to learn this. I'm trying, as our prophet said, to learn to love and still hate. See, because if I can learn to love, then I can create an atmosphere states, and I'll quote, "Dear readers, do not fault to use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those that love Jesus." And I say it all the time, and that statement there allows us to work with a lot of people. Because it said that all those that love Jesus.
It's on.
And I was taught years ago that Jesus in this context means justice.
It's not.
So, to all those that love justice, I can work with. Tonight's chapter is chapter 38, the soul of man. And y'all vibrating up in here. From our very first speaker on to our assistant grand chief, who was really moving around up in here.
It's on.
I was watching him from back there, you know, and yeah, and I thought back. See, because like the brother said, reflection is the business of man. I went back, and I seen the brother grow over the years.
Now,
I said, praise our Lord.
It's on.
Praise our Lord. You know, it says that the assistant grand chief in the temple is the one or individual that's actually being groomed to be the grand chief. You know, and praise the Lord, you know, I listened to the brother, and I said, that day is not far away.
It's on.
It is not far away. I like to read from the ninth chapter, chapter 38, over instructions from the prophet, the soul of man. This is what I'm going to do. Like everyone else, I should board my glasses too. And like everyone else, I left them. But I will find my way down. Notice I've tried that before. These are the ones that I get busy with. These are the ones, bro. I'm going to read from verse 17 and 18. And after that, I'll figure out what I really wanted to go. Verse 17. The lips of the wise are as doors of a cabinet. No sooner are they open, but treasures are poured out before thee. Like unto trees of gold, arranged in beds of silver, a wise sentence, uttered in due season. That's important statement there. It's real important. The prophet sent us a powerful message there for those that have ears to hear. But now, I want to read another place in here. Okay, verse 7. Does not the sun harden the clay? Does not it also soften the wax? As it is one sun that worketh both, even so is one soul willeth contrary.
It's on.
As the moon retaineth her nature, though darkness spread itself before her face as a curtain, so the soul remains perfect, even in the bosom of a fool.
that's right.
See, the prophet lets us know that this soul, this thing we're talking about, this soul. See, this soul going to do what it's supposed to do, no matter whose form it's in. See, if it's in the wise man's form or the fool's form, and that's what he's saying here. The soul is going to do what it's supposed to do, and it seeks for knowledge. It's on a constant search for knowledge, whether it's in the fool's bosom or a wise man's bosom. The only thing different is what's directing the traffic, or how you direct it. That's the difference in it. So the prophet comes to us, giving us an understanding of how this soul works. See, I pause because when we look at the purpose of the organization, it said that the prophet came to help in a great program of uplifting fallen humanity. He says it's helping this great program. And then later on, the prophet says to us that he wants us to help him in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity. But in order to help the prophet, we have to be prepared. And that's where this chapter comes in. I was reading in one of the chapters that said, act as our soul dictates. And the end shall always be right.
It's on.
It says act there, and it'll be right. But now, in order for that statement to be correct, some things have to See, the soul is in another chapter. It say, keep thy soul within the bounds of moderation. Meaning that the soul will need some guide. The soul will have to be checked sometime. The soul will have to get a little lesson over here before you can follow his dictates and always be right. See, because when I moved foolish through the earth, I had a soul then. I had a soul. You know, I used to say, you know, something said something to me. We heard it. Yeah, the old boys told me not to go down the street. See? And then the sad thing about it, you always go after the voice done said. So I had a soul. See? But it wasn't until the prophet made me aware of it that that's when I really realized it. See, I know thoughts come from somewhere. Right. My feeling, my commitment or whatever, because I didn't know what it was then. You know, you wake up in the morning like this. You see a person at night, you say, I see you tomorrow. So you didn't think that something may happen, the process had to go on, there was a God controlling. We didn't think like that. We got up, we walked around the earth, we said good night, get up the next day. Sometimes we ain't say good night. I see you tomorrow. Yeah. You know, not realizing that there are things in between, then no neutrality came to us. He came and he let us know some things first. He let us know first we was in mental slavery. See, because you don't know you're in mental slavery till somebody tell you. Right. So he had to let us know that we were in mental slavery. And after he explained that to us, what mental slavery was, and we began, that's why he said, if I can get you to think. See, because he's telling you in mental slavery, but if you can't think, you still don't know. That's right, Mo. See, and thinking is a process. Right. See, people think because something come across their mind and thinking, oh, you know, I thought that out. No, there must be a process that takes place. See, there's several kinds of thinking. You know, yeah, and you got abstract thinking, and you got concrete thinking. It's not. Huh? It's an old lesson. You remember? Everybody here, yeah. See, one lesson is an ideal. Right. The other is a manifest action. Right. You bringing it into fruition. Right. See, so I'm laying there and I'm thinking. And all these thoughts up here in the cloud. But I'm walking around on earth doing something else. I got a bunch of abstract thoughts. It's not. And a bunch of abstract thoughts with no direction. See, but the understanding of my soul lets me know that I got certain faculties I can work with. What the Bible said, thinking, reason, will, understand. They said, call out that. That's not the soul. That's nice. Now, it's essence. Right. See, the essence is a little deeper. See, the essence is that thing where the prophet said, teach thy spirit. Right? Huh? I got you waiting. See, go on. The spirit. Yeah. It does what? Actuate and what? Directs. But the soul plays a role in that for the spirit to do it. See, the faculties got to work. The essence ain't working. The faculties got to work. On the earth level, the prophet tells us in Sunday school to exercise our five senses. Those five senses are just like the faculties of the soul. Those five senses help us to gather information, analyze it, process it, and that's the same way with the faculties of the soul. It enables us to grasp creation, the movements and things that's going on, to be able to analyze it, comprehend it, or as a Moore used to say a long time ago, see it through our own eyes, analyze it with our own mind, articulate it with our own mouth. But we only can do that when we have a command of the soul. See, when we have molded and shaped it in a certain form. That's why somebody said it tonight about the formula. The prophet brought us a formula. In other words, he's saying, follow this. Islam. And there's a certain result. Islam. See, but you got to follow this to the letter. Islam. Just like when he tells me, he said, be a prophet. See? And then when you come to the meeting, there's things that you saying to me every meeting. Right. You say, oh, it's hard and them things every meeting. See, not realizing that's a part of the process. See, because as the brother said last Friday, about the word disciple and the word discipline. See, in order to establish discipline, you have to put some action or some things into action that is done consistently. It's like standing at attention. The standing in the tent, you had to be taught to stand there.
Right.
And you got to stand there. So you might be rocking to the side at first, but you stand until you can stand straight. And it's the same way with preparing the soul. So you got to keep working on the soul until you get it to go straight. See, the brother referred to the baptism, right? See, and that's right. Man had to see some things. So we dip him in the water and bring him out. Now, you know when you dip somebody in some water and bring him out, they're the same person, brother said. Right. You know, but when you look at the concept with the soul, see, you have to dip that soul. Now listen what I'm saying. You got to dip the soul into that water too. And what I mean by dip the soul in, you got to put it, that container the brother was talking about, you got to provide it. Yes. I said, what do you mean by that, Mom? Prophet tells us to study our lists. To be the real more needed, you must study the Quran, your divine constitution and bylaws. And if you study the history a little deeper, you will see that the questionnaire was added to that statement. Why? Because when you study those things, they shape the mind, they shape the heart, if you will. See, you know, when I say shape the mind, I'm talking about the facts, I'm talking about shaping the heart, I'm talking about the soul itself. You understand what I'm saying? You got to shape it. That's why the prophet tells us about keeping things clean and pure. See, you got to feed the soul in the way that you want the soul to go.
Islam.
See, you feed the soul with purity. You feed the soul with religious literature and things of that nature. You feed the soul with positive things. So you're going to get a positive result. We say it all the time. You keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So now, if you feed your soul positive things, then you know how it's going. You're going to keep getting positive things.
That's right, Mom.
Now, so let me say this so we don't get weary along the road. Sometimes we do positive things and it still look like we still struggle. And we say, I know I've been doing everything right, but you know, I don't know what I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying? No, that's the test along the road. What it said, think not. Oh man, that won't be tested. So just because you got the formula and you working it, you know, oh no, you got to go through some things. Yeah. You know, it's like they tell you in the karate school, oh, I see you got the collar. Oh, that looks lovely. Now, go over here with Mr. So-and-so and put the collar to work. See, you over here by yourself, you look great. And when we read this lesson, and we in that mirror in our house, and we look at them, we look great. And we talk a little bit in our house. And then, the chairman calls us here. I'm going to show you how powerful that thought is. See, a brother told me a long time ago, when you come to the podium, some temples call it an altar. When you use the word altar, of course, you're changing the complexion of things. But I'm going to use the word altar tonight. When you come to the altar, you stepping up in heaven up in here. You understand? When you step up in here, oh, yes. You supposed to feel it. You supposed to share what God give us.
That's
you understand? What the prophet said, I gave you something you can shout about. You don't get up here. Now, I see some of the old techniques, not your public speaking. You know, they tell you, you stand here and you don't move, you don't touch the podium and all that there. See, but when you study the spirit of our people are spiritual people. When the spirit touching you, going to move back.
Right. That's right, Bo.
You're supposed to move back.
That's right, Bo.
You understand? Let them know that's real what you feel.
That's right,
You
Bo.
understand? So the prophet working on our soul. See, he got to work on our soul if we're going to help him in the great program of uplifting fallen humanity. It don't matter if he come telling you about your history. It don't matter that he gave you a nationality. You understand? None of these things matter if you don't have that soul in check. Right? Because you're going to throw it away. See, the soul got to be in check to absorb what has been given to you so you can get the proper result. I know when we looked out tonight, we said, good gracious, last week the place was damn packed. Say tonight, you know, some of the tears, praise the Lord, some of the tears are empty. I was in one temple where the sister used to say, the tears ain't empty, said spirit sat in each one. But my prophet told me to tell the truth. So I'm going to say so you got to laugh about it. What the prophet said. He said, laugh.
That's right, Bo.
Did he say laugh?
Yes, sir.
He said, weep not at the calamities of the evil state. Rather laugh at his fathers. See, we got to laugh. Ain't no spirit sitting there tears empty.
Right.
Prophesy let me tell you about that. See, yeah, how the prophet won't drive them in? See, how do the prophet drive them in? See, we ain't running no spook organization here. The prophet passed form in 1929. So he's not walking the earth physically with us right now. So how do he drive them in? It's not through us.
Right.
It is our character. You understand? When we demonstrate the character of the prophet, it's supposed to attract people to it. That's why the prophet said the movie would not be recognized without the prophet as head. So he said, speak my words and draw all men unto you. Right. You understand? Not your words, the prophet's word. And if you're going to add your word, the prophet's word has to come before it and after. You understand? To support it. Because otherwise, you get to go on up in here, we need to get up here and demonstrate. And get the flapping up in this demonstration. Yeah, we get the flapping up in there. Because we think we that. I remember years ago, to show you the power of the soul. Years ago, I remember I chaired a meeting. There was a brother in the audience. I was reading the chapter, Know Thyself. So when I got to one part, I had a problem with the word omnipotence back then. And I was going on and booming, a whole lot of other stuff. So a brother said to me, in the audience on a Friday meeting, he said, what that mean, Mo? So I looked at it. Because I didn't know what it meant at the time. You show yourself. Come on, bro. I looked at the brother. So I turned to the grand sheet and I said, Brother Grand Sheet, can you answer the brother a question? He said, Brother Ted, man, you're doing a good job. And he knew I was stuck. And I stood up there and for about 15 minutes I flapped. But finally I flapped my way around and locked up on the meaning of the word. But by that time, I was soaking wet. I was sweating and everything. You know, but praise the Lord for that moment. See, because that moment made me go and do some study. That was the first time it happened. It made me go do some study. He was Grand Sheik at the time. I'm going to let y'all know. You understand? But that was the first thing that made me want to change the shape of my soul.
Islam.
You know, later on in life, having an opportunity to study these lessons, I attended and was a part of one of the greatest Moorish schools on earth.
Islam.
You know, one of the greatest Moorish schools on earth, which is not a physical place anyway.
Islam.
You know, it's a brotherhood, if you will. Islam. You know, it's a body of Moors, sacred, noble, ancient Moors. You understand, that love the prophet and want to bring his practical applications out as we talked about. You know, but one day we was having a class because in this particular school, you know, there's a technique used sometimes. Sometimes one of us may have the pro and the other may have the con to a particular issue. Sometimes the same two people are switched because if you know both sides of an issue, you have a better understanding. In this particular incident, you know, it was chapter 1 was the issue. And I was debating. And my opponent was a good friend of all of ours, a scholar in this demonstration, Brother N. Chambers. And we were debating the issue. And unbeknown to me, this old brother Ray told me years ago, unbeknown to me, I was winning. And when I think about it now, how sharp the brother is now, I said, good gracious. And then the brother got to one point in the Quran and he said, well, Mo, what part of speech is that? So I'm looking at it. There you go, ask him one of them questions. I said, Mo, you know, we talking about the chapter. He said, no. And he went into the grammatical structure of the sentence. Now, not understanding that I was winning the debate, I addressed something that I had no knowledge of. So I left my foundation where the prophets are, and I went to address him. And he said something to me. He said, you don't understand the grammatical structure of the sentence. How do you really know that you understand what the sentence means now, Louis? You understand? That was the second time. Something said, get your soul right. See, getting the soul right just means preparing oneself for the obstacles that we're going to meet in life. See, getting one's soul right speaks to the lesson in Job. You know, look at the things Job went through in the whole dialogue. You know, the only reason why Job was doing A, B, C, and D, the dialogue goes because God had put a hedge around it. He said, remove it, let me touch it. Let me take that stuff. See, think about it. Think about when we lose our material stuff. I don't think I can make it up to the top of the day. See what I'm saying? But then even in that particular story, it goes a little further. Said, let me touch that body. So we laying up and then we got a cold. All of a sudden, I call you. Now you wasn't talking that deep before I called. All of a sudden now, you can't make some now. You know, I'm gonna tell you something that really happened. And this happened today. Believe it or not. I talked to her, I said, no, chief. I said, I want you to know that all she's got to be on point. Now when it comes to meeting, be prepared to speak. They said, what is the chapter? I said, it's chapter 38. And they said, it's not only on in about, I don't know, 20 minutes before time, I'm getting ready to depart from the meeting, I get a call. This is no, let me tell you something. You know, I don't know where my car keys at, I don't know where it is at. You understand? People got my car, waiting on insurance company, I'm waiting on a car deal, I'm waiting on everybody. I can't make my money. I ain't be there. See, that's where we got to work on our soul.
It's
Right. See, because what happens more is that we'll put on these jobs. We'll get all these trinkets. We'll go through these rituals and things of that nature, and we'll stand up here with our chests out and we'll say, you know, I'm that, and I'm this and that. And we feel, we begin to believe that you don't have to put in work in. We begin to believe that you're not going to be tested. We begin to believe that nobody's going to call you to get up here. And then when we get up here, shame and glory. It's been what? When you should know something, you don't. You know, and that's one reason why the prophet gives us this chapter, the soul of man. Because the soul of man has to be put in its proper perspective in order for any of the rest of it to come out. Any of it. If the soul ain't right, none of this is going to come out. It's like this building here. If our soul not right, we'll have a club in here in 2 minutes.
It's not.
Yeah, the soul ain't right. Oh, it's over. Let me go. You can hook this up and you can hook that up. It's because our soul right that we seem it necessary to make sure that we have a place, atmosphere, right, to teach, to fellowship, to share with others the lessons that our prophet has given us. You know, I told myself after listening to this assistant grand chief, but sometimes, you know, I like to come up and holler and move all around and all that. And I said, he been pretty good hollering and stuff and moving around at night. I said, I'm not going to do all that. You know, I'm going to tone down a little bit. See, I was taught like that. You know, I was taught like that. See, because when a meeting comes, when we have a meeting like this, and you have 5 or 6 speakers, and if they right, the record is clear, the prophet is clear. He said, 2 or 3 gathered in my name, I'll be in the midst of thee. Meaning that when one of us get up there, the prophet going to be speaking through us.
Right.
You understand? And once we recognize the prophet's voice, then the rest of us know what station to take. That's right. So you got to know that. See, to understand the soul, we got to know some things. See, we got to know when you walk in the room and you smell something foul, there's something stinky in the room. See, you don't just say, oh, that's a smell. You know, no, you identify, you break it, your nose will break it down. So we know, and all we have to do is call it what it is. Now back to them tears there, because y'all always laugh about them tears when I said it was empty. See, there's a reason for them tears being empty. See, 2 main reasons for the tears being empty. See, one reason is that the people that presented them tears don't know them tears are there for them. You hear what I say? Nobody has told them that we have some tears for them. That's one. And the other thing is, we ain't went out and got them to set them in them tears. That's 2. See, the prophet went out and got his people. He came for his people. Why don't we go get our people? Before you came to this meeting tonight, you was hanging with somebody. The old Susie Q or somebody. But when you left them, you left them right where they were. You didn't bring them where you was going. See, and we got to start doing that. I'm sitting there, brother and sister talking to me. I'm saying, okay, praise Allah. Praise Allah. You ready to go with me? They said, where you going? I said, I'm going to the temple. Now, no, I don't want to go to the temple. You don't want to go? You just held me here an hour with you doing what you wanted to do. Oh, praise Allah. Woo! There's some security in here. Now, see, I'm going to tell you something. I told you about this lesson here. I said, you can be in the midst of a demonstration and something will happen. Now, this lets you know when the soul is on check. When the thing happens, whether you remain in that etheric vibration or whether you descend, tells you that. You know, I see you, brother Chairman, and brother Major. Can I ask y'all a question? Yes, sir. Is it another one of those room back there? Yeah. Can I ask you another question? Because just us in here. Yes. How old are y'all? Because y'all move kind of slow around here. Y'all looking around. I said, damn, man. Yeah. Now, you know, they told me, I just said, that the unit was an elite unit. Yeah, because somebody's supposed to. Hey, go ahead.
Watch it for you. There's a piece of glass on it.
Yeah, it's a piece up here too. Now, elite unit also mean that elite eyesight and all that stuff.
You have to move that table back just a little bit.
Yeah, you
That
go.
big piece right there.
Yeah.
I'll play it wrong.
Praise Allah. See, the lesson I learned now, tonight I learned a powerful lesson. See, the next little candy job we get gonna be plastic.
Yeah, it's fine.
See, it's gonna be, see how things work out? See, I learned that lesson. It's gonna be plastic, but what I told you I do.
It's fine.
I sit up in here, I move around.
It's fine.
You
It's
know.
fine. Yeah. It's fine.
Wait a minute, I gotta ask a question again. Whoa, is y'all still working? Praise be to Allah.
Come on.
You all right, brother Chairman?
Right there.
Now, one thing about Chairman and doing is make sure ain't no glass down there. Not just for my feet, but his too. He got bad feet too. Praise Allah. See them shoes he got on? Come on now. Now, I don't know how many jokes I got in me now. Y'all niggas go long. Y'all all right, brother Major? Huh? Am I safe?
Yes, sir. You see.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. It's good that we have a place where we can come and meet. It's good that we have a place where we can come and share these lessons and laugh and joke. And even when things happen like this, we can smile and still be happy. You know, because I know a number of us been in temples and places where you sat in there with a big vein in you.
It's fine.
Because you got a headache, you're frustrated, and all kinds and all manner of things are going on. So it's a blessing. And though all the chairs are not filled up, we know we got to have the chairs there. Because the prophet lets us know that if we keep the doors open don't mean just open the door. Right. Keep the doors open meaning that if we have an active operational temple where the lessons are being properly taught, then he, through the teachings of these lessons, will drive the Asiatics in. When they see you and I on the street, they'll be saying, where you going, Mo? Although they see other Moors, when they see you, you'll have a particular shine, if you will, if you want to say it that way. You want to be like some of our members that were here, aura, if you will. You understand? Or attraction to you where when you step in there, somebody says, oh, what's wrong? And they be wanting to stay with you. You talking to them, they don't want to leave. You try to, go where you going. They say, yeah, Mo, tell me about this, tell me about that. Yeah, that's what you want. You want that. Because that shows that you are demonstrating this. That you are demonstrating this. And it's important that this chapter is a nice chapter. chapter is, as the first speaker said, is very important in our growth and development. It's very important in the manifestation of our prophet's teaching. You know, promotion is perpetual. See, this soul won't keep looking on and on forever. So why not take the time to shape one's soul
Islam.
so that it would benefit me? It's like in one chapter when the prophet talks about thy duty. It said it's so kindly blended with thy nature that obedience to his precepts is happiness to thyself. And I always say that. And I remember I said that in Chicago. And the grand sheik that spoke behind me, a new friend, Brother Umar Kenyube, and he said, but also in another chapter, the prophet said that nature urges thee to inconstancy, O man. So guard thyself. Now, what's being said there is that in order for this nature to do its proper part, certain things have to be established in the next chapter or on the second page. It talks about establishing principles of action and see that I ever act according to them. See, when you do that, now nature is not urging thee to inconstancy because nature is checked.
Right.
When you do that, you can act as thy soul dictates because the soul has been kept within the bounds of moderation. See, you setting them bounds, meaning you setting different standards for yourself or certain points of discipline, meaning I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. It's just like one of the statements that the prophet is attributed to the prophet in the Moorish literature, where he talked about wrongdoings, and he said, keep thy wrongdoings out the eye, sight of the public. Now, nowhere does he say that it's all right to do wrong. That's not what that's saying. What is it simply saying is that as you begin to work out certain shortcomings that we have, certain life sums that you have, see, it's better to keep them confined rather than to be out with them. See, because the public, the prophet tells us, is unstable and ungrateful in the first place. Now, so because of that, when they see you laying in what we call your grave, you know, and you trying to resurrect, they're not going to let you get up. Right. They're going to always continue to try to hold you down. You understand? Oh, yeah, old dope fiend.
Yeah, Islam.
Oh, yeah, old dope fiend with flares on. You know, they're not going to let you get up at all. So we can't allow them. See, again, this is teaching that soul. You can't allow them to see certain shortcomings. You have to work them things out privately. You understand? See, the prophet gives you lessons in here. He's telling you something you can't do.
Right.
You got to do it a certain way, or else you're not gonna reach fruition. You know, he tells us about the animals and things. He said, "Perceive not the cock the hour of midnight." You know, and in the next verse he said, "Envy not to these their senses." You know, I don't get mad at the eagle because he can see all miles. Why am I mad at the eagle about them senses? He was given those senses to guide him through this life journey. And each of them, just as man, was given a soul to guide him through, not just the earth journey, to guide him through his total journey back to the spiritual realm. That's why when we pass form, we have to go on a plane of soul and work out life sums there. But the things we're working out on the plane of soul is those we fail to deal with here. See, so if you work some things out here, try to tilt the scale to good, you won't have to deal with them later on. See, Jesus, when he was in the tomb, and I want to end around this, when Jesus was in the tomb, it said that the body is the manifest of soul. But soul is without its manifest. And in the realms of souls unmanifest, the Lord outside of the tomb, but this is important. They said the white-clad soldiers appeared. They marched and they counter-marched. Now, the people that was out there, they looked at these white-clad soldiers, you could like, in other words, these white-clad soldiers was manifested to the rate of sight, but not the rate of touch. You hear what I'm saying? See, because you have to understand the soul.
Right.
Now, the white-clad soldiers, also historically you learn that the masses around the world was meditating on this particular night because the prophecy said that certain things were supposed to happen. Because they were meditating, they began to protect themselves. They called it the astro mind, however you want to do it. But that chapter called it white-clad soldiers. They appeared. When they appeared, the tomb became a blazing light. In that light, the body, which is manifest of soul, disappeared. Meaning that the rate of body was speeded up, listen to the rate of soul. And that's when Jesus went on the plane of soul. It said he set the captive free. He set the prisoner free and let the captives alive. What prisoners and what captives? You understand? Those that were prisoners to their thoughts and captives to their ways. That although they were on the plane of soul, they didn't know how to deal with it. So Jesus came, again teaching the lesson of the soul. See, this lesson is taught on earth and on the plane of soul.
Right.
It is taught there because we don't know. Man is constantly learning, trying to learn how to utilize his soul. But once Jesus set him free, see, then he said he sat with all his masters, you know, and patrons over the ages. See, we have to look at what's being said there, because Barado said it in chapter 11. You understand? Jesus said to Barado, excuse me, he said to him, backwards through the ages, masterminds can trace themselves, and thus they know. Of course, he wasn't talking about going back to the womb, because the Quran teaches us that Allah removed that memory from us. So he wasn't talking, he said, let's reason this demonstration back. And it was the same way when Jesus was up on that plane. He said he met all of these people. You understand? He was reasoning his way around as to what was going on. He was laying down what had taken place with him and what would take place. But now he was on the plane of soul. I want you to understand what's being said. See, because later on in the chapter, when they heard in the distance a dawn, magical, they said the thunder was in the distance. They said an angel descended from heaven. Listen to this part. Now we're talking about the same Jesus. Remember, the body is manifest of soul, but soul is without its manifest. But when the angel descended, it said Jesus opened his eyes, laid his burial gowns on the side, stood beside the angel. I want to stop there. They said he opened his eyes. That meant he was in his physical body. See, something happened between the time the blazing light, the time the tomb became ablaze, and the time the tomb went dim. In that time, Jesus had traveled on the plane of soul and back. You understand? Somebody said to us today, somebody said up here today, you don't have to pass form to do what I just said Jesus done. See, you have to raise the rate. How you do that? By feeding the soul pure things. By giving it certain discipline. Then you can do it. There are certain feasts on the earth that's done that. Chinese, you know, get a piece of paper, put it in his hand, and make it catch on fire. To see that thing, I thought that's a trick. See, until I got a better understanding of Tai Chi, somebody said, you know, Chinese art, but I just want to say this ain't gonna stay that long. All them arts that have in China and Japan, they were allowed to keep those things for us. Now, I want you to remember that. They were allowed to keep those things for us over the years because, you know, one of the great historians, Drusilla Houston, lets you know that China and Japan, all of them was just colonies of Ethiopia. But that's something else, I'm telling you. You have to get that soul right so you understand what I just said right then. See, the source that we're drawing from, everything has emanated from us, and we come from God. And once we understand that, now we can put our soul in check. Now we can go out and try to help our people. See, that's what it's all about. See, and the best people to do it is us. We don't suffer. We know what suffering is. We know what it is to have someone turn their back on. We know what it is to have someone decision when you go to the bathroom, when you eat, when you sleep. You know, we can say that we made our own decision, but no, if it wasn't inside that box, it wasn't happening.
Right.
So we've been through that. And sadly to say, we have came here to see some of the confusion of footprints that surround our prophet's footprints. You know, because we are taught that the master leaves his footprints clearly cut. In this day and time and age, one has to have a clear sight because there's so many footprints around our prophet's footprint that if you don't have a clear sight, then you won't know the prophet's footprint. See, when you come into a temple, in the chapter of the soul of man, and they can't tell you in that temple what that means, what that's supposed to be for, why it's important that that soul should be in check, then you know you're not in a true Moorish science temple of America that the prophet established. You know, we have a lot of temples that have those names today, but you know, it said that the temple of the people, the depth of the chamber of a temple is based on the depth of the knowledge and dedication and sincerity of the members. We have 10 people in the chamber. That knowledge is only deep as we collectively can go. See, because the whole thing is to bring the prophet into the room. See, and you can tell when the prophet in the room because you feel happy. You feel happy and the words seem to flow in place.
Right.
You know, like one brother said, wherever my Quran open up, I'm going to read. And then he got up and said, see what happened? See, he said, I'm going to wherever my Quran open. He had this to it. He said, that's where Allah want me to go. And he said, and see, if Allah, see, we got to understand what we're saying. Wants us to do something, we wouldn't be up here fumbling with it. See, because Allah knows the heart before we make any decision.
That's right, Mo.
He knows what we can do. If Allah sent you here, then you have a mission, and the only thing you have to do, the only thing we have to do, or I have to do, is tap into the confidence that's found in the soul. See, you become confident, the more you learn, I mean, if the soul evolves all knowledge. And the deeper you get that knowledge, you feel it, chest out.
Right.
See, that's when you go to the second lesson. See, now you got it. Now you got to teach the soul how not to be arrogant with it, selfish with it, cheating with it, trying to make it. I heard one more say, Paul Napoleon, if we get slick with it. Let me say this. I'm going to close on this here. Prophet ain't tell us to get slick with this. He said get serious with this.
No.
Thank you for the time.
That's right, Mo.
You know? And I'm going to go on and sit down. Is that all right, sir?
No, sir.
Okay.
You can stand right beside me for a few minutes.
Praise
Islam.
Islam.
I'd like to acknowledge the reading of the letters, and I call forth my Grand Governor, Grand Chief, to read the Grand Proclamation we read. Islam.
No.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome, brother. I take it that with that acknowledgement, I was up here a little long.
No, sir.
Praise Allah.
Right it on, boy.
Praise Allah. Now I'm looking through your folder, sir. If I can't find this, what's come, you know, praise Allah. I'm all right. I'm all right. I was getting ready to tell you about that soul. See, that's another thing about that soul. You know, we have to be prepared, and the prophet teaches us some things. We come to meet, we say the same thing over and over every meeting. You say, why I say all that? It's just like this paper that blew off this boat, and I had to finish saying it. That's why we said no. January 1929. Okay? A warning from the prophet for all governors and grand chiefs and head officials of all temples. Look at that title. A warning from the The newspaper article itself says prophet warned all Muslim governors or to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while they work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at your opinions that cause confusion. Remember, your card is for your own salvation. Woo! Praise Allah. Let me stop. Let's start over again. We found it. Praise Allah. Prophet warned all Muslim government order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at your opinions that cause confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards a temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where our prophet found them. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble to Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet to the will of